It was an ordinary morning on Earth when everything changed forever. People were busy with their normal lives, some were going to work, others were eating breakfast, students were walking to school. The sky looked peaceful, blue, and calm. No one knew that, in the next few minutes, humanity would see something that would change the course of history. High above the clouds, strange signals started to appear on satellites. Scientists in space agencies noticed sudden movements on their radar. At first, they thought it was a system error. But when the same signals came from different satellites across the world, they realized something was wrong. The signals were not random. They were coming from deep space, strong, rhythmic, and clearly intelligent. In a control room in Houston, a scientist named Dr. Adam Reed looked at the data again and again. "It's not a star, not a planet. This thing is moving," he said. His colleague, Mia Torres, frowned and whispered, "It's coming closer." Within hours, every major country on Earth was watching the same strange object. It was massive, larger than any human-made spacecraft. It moved slowly, silently, and stopped just outside Earth's orbit. The world fell silent. News channels broke their regular programs. Every screen showed the same image, a dark shape, floating above Earth like a shadow. People panicked. Some thought it was the end of the world. Others believed it was the start of something new. Governments ordered fighter jets to stay ready. The United Nations held an emergency meeting. Every leader in the room had the same question: who are they, and what do they want? Then it happened. The object sent a message, not in any human language, but through light. Beams of light formed symbols across the sky, visible even from the ground. The symbols changed too quickly for most people to understand, but scientists noticed a repeating pattern. It was as if someone, or something, was trying to communicate. Dr. Reed worked for hours, trying to decode the light pattern. He compared it with mathematical constants, ancient languages, and computer codes. Finally, he shouted, "It's a message!" Everyone turned toward him. "It says, 'We need help.'" The world couldn't believe it. An alien race asking humans for help? It sounded impossible. But the message repeated again and again, every few hours. Governments had no choice but to respond. A signal was sent back. Earth was ready to communicate. The next day, the dark object opened. A bright blue light filled the sky, and a holographic image appeared above the Pacific Ocean. Millions watched live as a tall, glowing figure appeared. It looked almost human but had silver eyes and transparent skin. When it spoke, every translator in the world was shocked. Somehow, the voice came in every language at once. "We are the Zalorians," it said. "Our galaxy is under attack. The enemy is spreading, destroying every world in its path. Soon, they will reach yours. We came not to harm, but to ask for your alliance." The message ended, but the silence that followed was louder than thunder. Humanity stood at a crossroads. Help them, and join an intergalactic war, or stay silent and wait for destruction to come to Earth. Leaders argued for hours. Some wanted to destroy the alien ship immediately, fearing it was a trap. Others believed the Zalorians were telling the truth. Then, something unexpected happened. A new object appeared near the moon. This one was burning, broken, and smaller. Before anyone could react, it exploded. The shockwave hit the alien ship but didn't destroy it. The Zalorian image returned, this time looking desperate. "They found us," the voice said. "The enemy is here." Dr. Reed looked at the monitors. "Another ship approaching. It's not Zalorian," he shouted. The second ship was darker, faster, and filled with strange energy readings. It fired beams of red light toward Earth's orbit. The Zalorian ship responded, shooting back with blue energy. The sky lit up like a storm of fire. Humanity watched the first battle of a galactic war unfold right above their heads. For the first time in history, all human nations stopped fighting each other. Every satellite, every weapon, every eye was pointed toward the same enemy. Earth had no choice, it was already part of the war. When the battle ended, the alien enemy vanished into deep space, leaving the Zalorian ship badly damaged. The hologram returned one last time. The Zalorian leader looked weaker now. "You have seen them," he said. "They will return. You must prepare. We will help you, if you will stand with us." The image faded, leaving a final pulse of light, a map of stars, showing where the next attack might come. Dr. Reed stared at the glowing image, his voice trembling. "This is it," he said. "The day humanity joined the Galactic War." And somewhere in the shadows of space, unseen by anyone, the enemy watched Earth, already planning their next move. The world was never the same after that day. People stopped arguing about what was real. Everyone had seen it with their own eyes, giant ships fighting in the sky above Earth. The proof of alien life was no longer a mystery. The Zalorians were real. And so was the enemy. Dr. Adam Reed couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw flashes of blue and red lights from the battle. The destroyed ships, the soundless explosions in space, the holographic face of the Zalorian leader, it all replayed in his mind. Humanity was now part of something far bigger than itself. In the following days, every major country sent their best scientists, soldiers, and engineers to a secret base built in the Nevada desert. They called it Project Unity. Dr. Reed was chosen to lead the communication team. His job, to make direct contact with the Zalorians and find out how to prepare for what was coming. On the 5th day after the battle, something incredible happened. A smaller Zalorian ship entered Earth's atmosphere. It didn't come with weapons or soldiers, just one single craft, shining like a falling star. It landed quietly in the middle of the desert near the Project Unity base. Everyone held their breath as a team of humans in protective suits approached the ship. The metal surface glowed with strange patterns. Suddenly, a hatch opened, and a tall figure stepped out. It was the same glowing being from the hologram, only now, it looked tired, injured, and real. "I am Commander Zynar of the Zalorian Alliance," he said in calm, clear English. "We came for peace, and to warn you." Dr. Reed stepped forward. "We saw the attack. Who are they? What do they want from us?" Zynar's silver eyes dimmed. "They are the Dravik Empire," he replied. "They conquer worlds, strip their energy, and leave them in ruins. We have been fighting them for centuries. Your planet, your people, are next in their path." The room went silent. No one moved. The words, "next in their path," echoed in every mind. Dr. Reed asked, "Why us? We have nothing they would want." Zynar looked at him for a long moment. "You have something powerful," he said softly. "Your planet's energy core. Your sun. It is pure and strong, something the Dravik can use to power their war engines. They destroy, and they move on. But if they take your sun, all life in your system will end." Fear spread across the base. The leaders exchanged looks of disbelief. Humanity had faced wars, famines, and disasters, but never this. Never a threat from the stars. Zynar continued, "We can help you fight, but we are weak now. Our fleet is far away. We need time to rebuild, and you must help us." Dr. Reed frowned. "Help you? We don't even have ships that can leave the solar system." Zynar raised his hand. A small cube floated out of his palm. It projected a glowing image in the air, blueprints, diagrams, energy readings. "We will give you our technology. You will build your first defense fleet. Together, we can stand against the Dravik." That moment marked the beginning of the Human-Zalorian Alliance. For the first time in history, humans worked side by side with beings from another world. Scientists tried to understand Zalorian energy crystals, soldiers trained in new tactics, and engineers learned how to combine human machines with alien technology. But not everyone trusted the Zalorians. Some leaders feared they were lying. "What if they're using us?" whispered General Mason, head of Project Unity's defense team. "Maybe they started the war, and now they want soldiers." Dr. Reed didn't want to believe that, but even he had doubts. Zynar seemed honest, but something about him was secretive. He never talked about Zaloria, his home planet, or how many of his people were left. Sometimes, when no one was watching, he stared at the stars with sadness in his eyes. Weeks passed, and the first human-alien hybrid ship, the Horizon, was completed. It wasn't large, but it was fast. Faster than anything humans had ever built. Zynar called it a symbol of hope. The day the Horizon launched, millions watched from around the world. The ship rose slowly, leaving a trail of blue fire behind it. For the first time, Earth reached for the stars not in curiosity, but in defense. However, just when people began to feel hope again, a dark signal appeared in the sky. It wasn't Zalorian. It came from deep space, filled with strange code and unknown language. The signal was loud and terrifying. Dr. Reed decoded part of it. His face went pale. "It's from the Dravik," he said. "They're coming. They know we're preparing." Commander Zynar's expression hardened. "Then we must be ready," he said. "Because the next time they arrive, they won't just attack from orbit. They will come for your cities." Outside, the stars flickered like eyes watching Earth. Somewhere out there, the Dravik were already on their way, bringing a storm unlike anything humanity had ever faced. The warning from the Dravik signal spread fear across the Earth. Every city, every military base, every government building felt the weight of it. Humanity had never faced an enemy like this, one that could arrive from the stars, strike without warning, and leave destruction behind. At Project Unity, the atmosphere was tense. Engineers worked around the clock to finish more ships. Soldiers trained relentlessly, learning to operate hybrid human-Zalorian technology. Even civilians contributed. Volunteers were building defenses, stockpiling resources, and learning emergency procedures. Dr. Adam Reed and Commander Zynar stood together in the command center, staring at the dark sky. "They're coming faster than we thought," Reed said. "The signal said nothing about how strong they are, but I can feel it. This will be different from anything we've seen." Zynar nodded. "The Dravik do not show mercy. Their first wave will strike orbit and Earth's defenses simultaneously. We must be ready." As night fell, people across the world noticed strange lights in the sky. Satellites picked up hundreds of fast-moving objects entering the solar system. They weren't large ships like the Zalorians. These were swarms, small and deadly, moving like coordinated storms. By morning, the Dravik reached the moon. Their dark fleet cast long shadows across its surface. Within hours, Earth's orbit became a battlefield. Lasers, energy shields, and explosions lit the sky. For the first time, humanity saw the reality of a war in space. On the ground, cities shook as meteor-like projectiles fell from orbit. Early warning systems barely had time to respond. In Tokyo, New York, and London, alarms blared as people ran for shelter. Panic mixed with awe. Few could believe what was happening, but everyone knew hiding was not enough. Commander Zynar flew aboard the Horizon, leading a small fleet of human Zalorian ships. "We must protect the planet's atmosphere and orbital defense satellites," he ordered. "If they destroy the satellites, the surface will be completely exposed." Dr. Reed stayed behind in the control center. His job was to coordinate Earth's defense. He issued orders to human ships, monitored energy shields, and relayed Zalorian strategies. Every command he gave felt like a drop of hope against a vast ocean of fear. The first major battle in orbit was brutal. The Dravik swarm was relentless. Their ships moved with unnatural speed and precision, shooting beams of red energy that could pierce shields. The Horizon and its fleet countered with blue plasma bursts, but losses were heavy. Human ships, still inexperienced in space combat, struggled to keep up. Zynar's voice came over the communicator. "Focus on the command drones. They control the swarm. Take them out, and the rest will weaken." Dr. Reed watched as a young pilot, Lieutenant Kara Chen, risked her life diving into the swarm. Her ship weaved through deadly fire, narrowly dodging destruction. With a precise shot, she hit the lead drone, causing a chain reaction that disabled dozens more. Humanity cheered as the swarm faltered, but the victory was small. The Dravik were still overwhelming in numbers. On Earth, the first wave of attacks reached the atmosphere. Energy bombs exploded in the deserts of Africa, near military bases in Europe, and above the Pacific Ocean. People hid in shelters, praying, crying, or silently staring at the sky. News channels broadcasted live images of the chaos. For the first time, every human on Earth felt like part of the same battle. Dr. Reed's team worked tirelessly to send new coordinates and strategies to the fleet. "If we can hold them off tonight, we can start counterattacks," he said, exhaustion in his voice. Zynar nodded, eyes fixed on the holographic map of the battle. "We must push them back, or Earth will fall. There is no second chance." Hours passed. The sun began to rise over a trembling planet. Debris from destroyed ships rained down slowly, glowing as it burned in the atmosphere. Human Zalorian ships limped back to orbit, some damaged, some barely functional. The Dravik, though weakened, vanished back into deep space. Commander Zynar spoke to Dr. Reed through the communicator. "They will return," he said. "Stronger, faster, more prepared. This was only a test." Dr. Reed swallowed hard. "How can we stop them? They've already destroyed so much." Zynar looked at the stars, his glowing eyes sad but determined. "We prepare. We train. We fight smarter. And next time, we strike first." Humanity had survived the first attack, but the cost was high. Cities were damaged, satellites destroyed, and hundreds of ships lost. Still, the people of Earth looked at the stars differently now. Fear mixed with determination. For the first time, humans understood the vastness of the universe, and the danger it held. Somewhere in the darkness of space, the Dravik watched. They knew Earth was no longer a hidden, weak planet. Humanity had fought back, and that made them dangerous. The first Dravik attack had ended, but the world was far from safe. Cities were in ruins, satellites were destroyed, and panic still lingered. Humanity had survived, but only just. The cost of the first battle was clear. If they did not prepare quickly, the next attack could destroy Earth completely. At Project Unity, the air was tense and focused. Dr. Adam Reed walked through rows of engineers and soldiers working on the new fleet. The horizon had returned, but it was damaged. Pilots trained non-stop, learning the ways of space combat, while engineers adapted Zalorian technology to human ships. Every machine, every weapon, every shield was tested again and again. Failure was not an option. Commander Zynar stood in the center of the base, projecting a holographic map of the solar system. "We cannot wait for them to strike again," he said. His silver eyes glowed. "The Dravik will return in greater numbers. We must take the fight to them before they reach Earth's orbit." The leaders of Earth's nations argued for days. Some wanted to focus on defense, building stronger shields and bunkers. Others, influenced by Zynar's warning, wanted to strike first, take the fight into space, and not wait to be destroyed. Finally, after long debates, the decision was made. Humanity would build its first interstellar strike force. Dr. Reed and a team of top scientists worked day and night to understand the Zalorian technology. Energy cores, propulsion systems, and weapons were adapted for human use. For the first time in history, human engineers combined Earth's machinery with alien technology. Ships grew faster, shields stronger, and weapons more powerful. Meanwhile, soldiers trained with a new intensity. Zero-gravity simulations, energy weapon drills, and hybrid combat tactics became daily routines. Every young pilot, every engineer, every strategist knew that the survival of Earth depended on their skill. Weeks passed, and the first interstellar fleet was ready. It was small but fast and powerful, Earth's first real attempt to fight beyond its planet. The Horizon led the fleet, accompanied by human-built ships enhanced with Zalorian technology. For the first time, humans would leave the comfort of Earth and step into the unknown. Dr. Reed watched the fleet prepare. He felt both pride and fear. "We've come so far," he said to Zynar. "But are we ready? The Dravik. They are unlike anything we've faced before." Zynar nodded. "You have learned quickly," he said. But knowledge alone is not enough. Courage, strategy, and trust in each other will be your weapons. Without them, we will fail. The first mission was simple in words but dangerous in reality. Intercept a Dravik scout fleet near the asteroid belt before it reached the inner solar system. If the humans waited, the scouts could call reinforcements. If they succeeded, Earth would gain time to strengthen defenses. When the fleet left Earth's orbit, the planet looked small beneath them. Cities glimmered in the distance, oceans sparkled, and the sky stretched endlessly above. Every pilot felt a mix of fear and wonder. Earth was home, but space was now a battlefield. As they approached the asteroid belt, sensors detected movement. Shadows glided between the rocks, fast, black ships with sharp edges and glowing red energy. The Dravik scouts had arrived. Commander Zynar's voice came over the communicator. Stay focused. Target the command vessels first. Protect each other. Do not underestimate them. The battle began. Human ships fired plasma bolts, lasers streaked across space, and shields flared with each hit. The Dravik moved with terrifying speed, dodging attacks and firing back relentlessly. Pilots shouted over the communicator, warnings and strategies mixing in a chaotic symphony. Lieutenant Kara Chen, one of the fleet's best pilots, dove through a swarm of enemy fighters. Her ship dodged blasts that could have torn it apart. With a precise shot, she destroyed a command drone, and the Dravik swarm faltered, breaking formation. Dr. Reed monitored the battle from the control center on the horizon. He coordinated attacks, repaired communication links, and guided the ships. Focus on the flanks, he shouted. Push them into the asteroid field. They can't maneuver there. Hours passed. Slowly, the human Zalorian fleet gained the advantage. The Dravik scouts retreated, leaving behind debris and damaged ships. Humanity had struck its first blow outside Earth, and survived. When the battle ended, the fleet returned to Earth. Pilots cheered, engineers celebrated, and the world watched with hope and pride. For the first time, humans believed they could fight back against the Dravik. But Zynar's expression remained serious. This was only a scout fleet, he said. The main Dravik fleet is coming. And next time, they will not retreat. We must be ready, or Earth will fall. Dr. Reed looked at the stars, feeling the weight of what was coming. Humanity had taken its first step into the galactic war, but the universe was bigger, darker, and far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. The calm after the scout fleet's retreat was short-lived. Humanity had tasted victory, but the cost of underestimating the Dravik had been clear. Cities were still recovering, and resources were stretched thin. Every human and Zalorian knew it was only a matter of time before the real invasion began. At Project Unity, tension filled the air. Dr. Adam Reed reviewed the latest intelligence with Commander Zynar. The main Dravik fleet will arrive in days, maybe hours, Zynar said, his voice low but firm. They are larger, faster, and stronger than anything you faced. This battle will decide the fate of Earth. Humanity's first interstellar strike had given them hope, but it had also revealed weaknesses. Communication systems were fragile, ships could still be destroyed in seconds, and human pilots were inexperienced. The fleet now faced an enemy that had fought countless wars across the galaxy. As the Dravik approached, Earth's night sky turned into a tapestry of fear. Satellites detected hundreds of massive ships moving toward the planet. Their red energy glowed in space like distant fire, a warning of destruction. Cities braced. People hid in shelters, prayed, and waited. On the horizon, Dr. Reed coordinated defense systems. The human Zalorian fleet, now larger than before, moved to intercept the enemy in orbit. Every ship was ready, but every commander knew this was unlike any battle they had trained for. The first clash came suddenly. Dravik ships fired beams of red energy at human satellites. Explosions lit the atmosphere. The first wave of Dravik fighters swooped in, fast and precise, aiming for the vulnerable human ships. Commander Zynar's voice cut through the chaos. Form defensive rings. Protect the core ships. Focus fire on the command vessels. Pilots screamed over the communicator as battles erupted in all directions. Lieutenant Kara Chen led a squadron of fighters, weaving through enemy fire. She destroyed 2 command drones before another barrage forced her to retreat. Around her, ships exploded in flashes of fire and metal. Dr. Reed monitored the battle from the command center. He guided reinforcements, rerouted energy shields, and sent tactical updates to every ship. The stress was overwhelming, but he knew Earth depended on him. One wrong decision could mean total annihilation. Despite their bravery, the fleet suffered heavy losses. Ships were destroyed in seconds, shields shattered, and human pilots lost their lives. Still, the Zalorian technology gave them an advantage. Blue energy beams and advanced shielding allowed them to hold their positions longer than expected. Hours passed. The battle reached a turning point when Kara spotted a massive Dravik battleship at the center of the swarm. Its energy was enormous, capable of destroying multiple human ships at once. "Target the command ship," she shouted. "If we take it down, the swarm will lose coordination." Zynar calculated the attack. "It's dangerous, but it's our best chance. Dr. Reed, coordinate all firepower toward that ship. Everyone, focus." The fleet concentrated their attacks. Lasers, plasma bolts, and energy blasts struck the command ship from every direction. It fought back, firing enormous red beams that destroyed several ships instantly. The sky above Earth became a storm of light and fire. In a final, daring move, Kara and a small squadron dodged the last line of defense and fired a series of plasma torpedoes at the Dravik battleship. The explosions rocked space. The command ship shuddered, caught fire, and finally exploded. The Dravik swarm faltered. Without central control, smaller ships scattered and retreated. Earth's fleet had survived the first major invasion. Cheers echoed through the command centers and cities, but the victory was tempered by loss. Hundreds of pilots were gone, and many ships had been destroyed. Commander Zynar turned to Dr. Reed. "This is only the beginning," he said. "The Dravik will return. They will bring more ships, stronger forces, and new strategies. Earth has survived, but the war is far from over." Dr. Reed looked at the glowing blue remnants of the battle in orbit. "We've proven we can fight," he said quietly. "But now, we have to get stronger, faster, smarter. If we fail next time, there may not be a planet to return to." For the first time, humanity realized the war would not be won by courage alone. Every decision, every battle, every alliance mattered. The universe was vast, full of danger, and Earth had just begun to fight for its survival. Somewhere, far beyond the solar system, the Dravik leaders observed. Their anger and strategy were already forming. Earth had struck back, but it had only made the planet more dangerous in their eyes. The victory over the Dravik scout fleet had lifted spirits, but at Project Unity, no one celebrated for long. Every human and Zalorian knew the main fleet would return, bigger and stronger. This was not just a battle. It was a war that could decide the fate of Earth forever. Dr. Adam Reed worked tirelessly with engineers and scientists. Every day, new designs were tested, energy cores improved, and ships upgraded. Commander Zynar oversaw training, ensuring human pilots learned advanced maneuvers and space combat tactics. Humanity was evolving into a real interstellar force, but it still had much to learn. Late one night, while monitoring deep space signals, Dr. Reed noticed something unusual. A pulsating blue light was moving slowly beyond Mars. It was unlike anything they had seen, smaller than a ship, but filled with immense energy. Zynar immediately recognized it. "That is a Zalorian quantum core," he said. "A weapon of last resort. We only use it if the enemy threatens annihilation." Dr. Reed stared. "Are you saying it could destroy the Dravik fleet?" Zynar's eyes glowed faintly. "Yes. But it is risky. The energy is unstable. One mistake, and it could destroy everything around it, including Earth." The decision weighed heavily on humanity's leaders. Some argued they should rely on defense alone, trusting their fleet. Others believed the quantum core was the only way to survive the next attack. Time was running out. Meanwhile, intelligence confirmed the Dravik were already near Jupiter. Their fleet was enormous, far beyond what Earth had faced before. They were moving with deadly precision, ready to strike in full force. The day of the battle arrived. Human and Zalorian fleets took positions near the asteroid belt, creating a defensive line to protect Earth. Pilots were tense. Engineers monitored shields and weapons. Every hand, every eye, every mind focused on the same goal: survive. The Dravik attacked without warning. Massive ships fired red energy beams, swarms of fighters darted like shadows, and asteroids exploded as collateral damage. Human ships dodged and fired in a coordinated dance of desperation and strategy. Commander Zynar gave the order: deploy the quantum core only if Earth is at risk. Until then, hold your positions. Hours of intense fighting followed. Ships were destroyed, energy shields flared, and the vacuum of space seemed alive with fire and motion. Lieutenant Kara Chen led daring attacks, dodging waves of enemy fire, while Dr. Reed coordinated reinforcements from the command center. But the Dravik were relentless. A massive energy beam hit the horizon, sending it spinning uncontrollably. Zynar fought to stabilize the ship. "We cannot hold them much longer," he said. Dr. Reed's eyes widened as he realized the fleet was in danger of collapse. "We have no choice," he said. "Activate the quantum core." The blue light of the core began to glow, pulsing with raw energy. Ships around it shuddered as the weapon powered up. Zynar's voice echoed in every communicator: "Once activated, there is no turning back. Brace yourselves." The core released a massive wave of energy, stretching across space like a blinding storm. Dravik ships were caught in it, their movements frozen, then destroyed one by one. The swarm shattered, explosions lighting up the darkness. Even from Earth, people could see flashes of energy in the sky. But the weapon was dangerous. Human ships near the core were shaken violently, some damaged by the force. Zynar used every skill to protect the fleet, while Dr. Reed stabilized communications and shields. It was a test of nerves, skill, and teamwork. When the light faded, the Dravik fleet was broken. Many ships had retreated, others were destroyed entirely. Humanity had survived the greatest attack yet. Cheers erupted across the command centers and cities, but the cost was heavy. Ships destroyed, pilots lost, and the planet still shaken from orbiting debris. Zynar looked at the stars. "The Dravik will not give up," he said. "But humanity has shown it can fight. We have survived what no one thought possible. Earth is no longer an easy target." Dr. Reed nodded, exhaustion heavy in his body. "We've won this battle, but the war is far from over. We must stay vigilant, stronger, and united. The universe is vast, and there are more dangers than we can imagine." Somewhere, far beyond the edge of the solar system, the Dravik leaders watched. They were angry, wounded, and already plotting. Earth had survived, but in doing so, it had become a threat. And threats are never ignored in the cold, endless galaxy. The battle with the Dravik had ended, but the galaxy was no longer a distant mystery, it was a battlefield. Humanity had survived its first major war among the stars, but survival brought new challenges. Earth was no longer safe, and every human knew the future would demand courage, intelligence, and unity. At Project Unity, Dr. Adam Reed and Commander Zynar worked tirelessly to rebuild the fleet. Damaged ships were repaired, new ones were constructed, and weapons were improved. Pilots trained harder than ever before. Every simulation, every exercise, every mission prepared humanity for the next inevitable clash. People on Earth had changed too. Cities were no longer just homes, they were symbols of resistance. Humanity had glimpsed the universe beyond, and the knowledge that alien threats could arrive at any moment had altered every mind. Fear and wonder coexisted in every heart. The Dravik fleet had retreated, but intelligence indicated they were regrouping far beyond Saturn. They would return, stronger and more cunning. Commander Zynar explained the harsh truth to Dr. Reed: they will not forget Earth. Every victory, every battle you win only makes them more focused. We must grow faster than they do. To prepare, the Human-Zalorian Alliance began constructing massive interstellar stations, weapons platforms, and research hubs. Humanity learned to travel farther, faster, and more safely. Scientists experimented with hybrid technologies, combining Zalorian energy with human ingenuity. Soldiers trained not only for battle but for survival in the cold, dark reaches of space. Dr. Reed often stared at the stars, thinking about how fragile life seemed. "We are small in this universe," he said, "but we are capable of greatness. Every choice, every action matters now." The first human-Zalorian colonization ships were launched. Humanity began exploring neighboring star systems, seeking allies and resources. Each mission carried brave souls into unknown worlds, facing dangers that even the Dravik might not reach. The universe was vast, but humanity was determined to survive, and to fight if needed. Meanwhile, new intelligence revealed a shocking truth: the Dravik were not the only enemies. Other alien races, observing Earth's sudden rise as a military power, began taking interest. Some were curious, some cautious, and others hostile. Humanity's future was now intertwined with countless civilizations, some friends, some foes. Despite the danger, hope remained. Lieutenant Kara Chen, now a seasoned pilot, flew above Earth in a newly built flagship, watching the sunrise over the horizon. "We've come so far," she said to her squad. "And we're just beginning. Humanity will not run from the stars. We will rise to meet them." Commander Zynar stood beside her, silver eyes glowing softly. "Your courage has surprised even my people. The universe is dangerous, but Earth has potential. Humanity can become a power in the galaxy, but you must never forget what is at stake. Every battle, every alliance, every choice matters." Dr. Reed reflected on the journey. From the first strange signals in orbit to the use of the quantum core, humanity had grown. Once ordinary people had become pilots, engineers, and warriors in a galactic war. Once powerless cities had become symbols of resistance. And once naive leaders had learned to think beyond Earth itself. The future was uncertain. Battles would come, and some would be lost. But Earth had learned the most important lesson. Survival depended on unity, courage, and the willingness to adapt. High above, in the quiet of space, remnants of the Dravik fleet lingered. They were planning, observing, waiting for the right moment to strike again. But now, they were not facing an unprepared world. They were facing humanity, a race that had fought, learned, and grown stronger than ever before. The stars stretched endlessly, full of danger and wonder. Humanity had joined the galactic war, and though the path ahead was uncertain, they would never back down. For the first time, the people of Earth truly understood their place in the universe, not as victims, but as fighters, explorers, and survivors. Dr. Reed looked at the glowing blue of distant stars and whispered, "We are ready." And somewhere in the shadows of the galaxy, unseen eyes watched Earth, knowing that the planet that had once been ordinary now had the power to shape the future of the cosmos. The war had only just begun. The end of Part 7.